Hey everyone, Republic Jim here, back in the office today. I just wanted to make a quick video to talk about one of my favorite subjects again, which is cold adaptation and brown adipose tissue. This was just kind of on my mind the last few days. I received a link to an article from a friend, and if you're watching this, Tricia, thanks for sending the link to that. I will put that link down in the description below the video if anybody's interested in checking out more information about cold thermogenesis. It's a very good article, and it sort of states things a little better than I can just talking on video, but very good read. At any rate, it was sort of coincidental on the timing, because just the day before I read a couple of news items, sad stories about a couple of different people in the Pacific Northwest that had died of hypothermia, and it really struck me just the difference that cold adaptation can make in surviving and not getting hypothermia in those situations. Both of the cases, I don't know all the details, but a lady that was a school teacher that was out not too far from home, I guess, and for whatever reason got stuck out overnight, and also a man who was driving his OHV somewhere up in the hills, got stuck in the snow and had to spend the night out, tried to hike out and didn't make it. It was amazing to me that in both of those cases they said that they were in snow and the temperature dipped below 30 degrees, somewhere in the upper 20s. And what was interesting to me about that is that just coincidentally, Saturday when we had Winterfest in Republic, that was almost exactly the conditions we had during the day. We typically get colder at night, although it's warmed up now, but at the time we were having colder temperatures at night. But during the day, I don't know exactly what our official high temperature was, but I'm guessing it was around 27 or 28. I know it never topped 30 degrees, and we had light snow just about all day long. And after all of the extreme cold adaptation I've been working on during the colder temperatures, I spent Winterfest running around for over 5 hours wearing a kilt and a t-shirt, without a coat, without gloves. I was wearing boots, but I didn't do anything especially to try to stay warm. Never put a hat on. I did finally, sometime before 4:30, put on a coat, but that was because by that point I finally I was getting cold because my t-shirt, which was made of cotton, was absorbing enough water from the snow that was falling on me that my brown adipose tissue was finally not able to put out enough heat to keep up with the chill from being wet. So at that point I put on my coat, and then I was perfectly comfortable. I was still wearing a kilt and didn't have a hat on or gloves or anything, and was handling stuff in the snow. In fact, at one point during the outhouse races, when we were done with the regular racing, I actually took off my boots and ran one length of the course barefoot and then walked back before putting on my boots again. So, about 90 yards in the snow, and at the time I was wearing a kilt and a muscle shirt. And at no point during that whole 5 hours was I ever cold enough that I was even shivering, let alone in any danger of hypothermia. So, looking at that, I wasn't out overnight, but the fact that it was snowing all day, there wasn't really any sunlight to make me feel any warmer or anything. So essentially I was in the same conditions that these two unfortunate people were for over 5 hours, and suffered no ill effects at all, felt perfectly comfortable most of the time. Whereas sadly, both of them died of hypothermia. And while I don't know from the news articles, I would assume that both of them had coats on, since the average person doesn't go outside in winter without a coat. Whereas, obviously, when I started finally feeling cold, before I ever began shivering, I put my coat on. And honestly, at that point, I could have gone quite a few more hours outside without any discomfort. And, you know, I've never been at all concerned about hypothermia when I dress more warmly. So the real takeaway from that is that cold adaptation, deliberately working at it, is actually a very good survival trait too, because it greatly increases your ability to withstand those temperatures. You know, if you're stuck in some situation like that, you know, I've talked a little bit about that in my videos before, some of my reasoning, but it really drove it home seeing those news articles and then contrasting that to my day on Saturday. So I'll also put links to the news articles about those people. And, you know, it's certainly unfortunate, but, you know, if that encourages somebody else to try to get a little more cold hardy and be more prepared for a situation like that, then that would be a good thing. So anyway, that's about all I had to say on it. Check out the links down below, and I hope that this was beneficial to somebody. This has been Republic Jim. I'll talk to you later.